All right, moving on from the somber news of Nipsey Hussle's passing, we got a little bit of sports news this week. Not really too much from the NFL. We got a little bit from the UFC 236 coming up next weekend, as well as the Kansas City Chiefs have traded Eric Murray for Emmanuel Ogbah.
Yes.
Right? I think this is a perfect move for us moving into Steve Spagnuolo's defense. Emmanuel Ogbah is going to bring an awesome flair to that defensive line, I think, and I think that defensive line is exactly what Spagnuolo looks for. He wants to get a four-man rush that gets to the quarterback and ease up on that secondary a little bit. That's something Kansas City has had trouble with last season. And moving from the 3-4 to the 4-3, I mean, we had to move some things around, and I think this is really the perfect move now to have him and Okafor on each side, and then probably Xavier Williams and Chris Jones in the middle. I think the defensive line is going to be really stacked for 2019.
And on a more important note, Eric Murray's off the team.
Yeah, if only it was Sorensen.
I knew he was going to do it. Let it go.
No, bro, it's been too fucking long. Why is he on the team?
That dude is straight butt. He's been butt for years. I
Thank
don't know
you.
why he's on that team.
Thank you.
Sorensen is trash. Oh my god.
Y'all wild disrespectful.
He is trash. Any day of the week, he's garbage.
Any day of the week. Any day of the week.
Except Sunday.
Hey, man.
He's especially garbage on Sundays.
He got a pick in that game for being out of place. That's the only reason he fucking got the pick. They got tipped to him because he was out of fucking place.
That's cold as fuck. You hating. Stop it.
I might be.
Get the hate about your heart.
Mm-mm.
But speaking on that Chiefs defensive line, they still got to stop the run, and I still think that's a big question for them.
Yeah. I think with there being four guys up front, though, I think that'll help a lot with that, and especially adding Ogbah and Okafor on the other side. But it's still definitely a question. I agree with you. I mean, especially after what we saw in the AFC Championship game.
Yeah. The good thing is we can't be no worse than what we were last year.
That's totally true. I don't think there's any way we'll be as bad as we were a year ago defensively.
Yeah, last year got tragic towards the end of the season.
Yeah,
real tragic.
But we did have that really good playoff game against the Colts.
They did.
I'm just gonna say it like this: everybody gets one.
Fuck out of here.
Everybody gets one.
Nah. So other than that in the NFL, really the only other thing noteworthy. What about the Jets uniforms? What you guys think about them?
High school, and they look trash.
I won't say they look like trash, but yeah, to say they look like high school uniforms. Like at first for a second, I thought them was like new Staley uniforms. I was like, oh wow, they got new uniforms. But yeah, no, they look a little childish.
It looked like somebody ran out of budget.
Yeah,
here it is, fucking.
The amount they're paying Le'Veon Bell, yeah, they probably did run out of budget.
God damn. He did it.
I mean, I don't think they're that bad. I think they look a lot like Cleveland's uniforms, and I think that it's interesting because do you guys think we could see kind of a change in the league and see like a lot of uniforms like that, like with the big bold New York letters?
Hopefully not.
The traditional teams, no, not at all.
I don't think so either, because like the Kansas City Chiefs, we've had the same uniform since inception.
Like there's certain teams you could see changing, but like Chiefs, example, Cowboys,
Steelers,
Colts, I don't see any of them changing.
Okay, so we also have UFC 236 coming up. 2 interim title fights.
2. Count them. 2 interim title fights.
First time ever.
You know what's funny?
One of them's pretty dumb.
Which one do you think's dumb?
I think that lightweight one's pretty dumb.
The headliner?
Yes.
Max Holloway versus Dustin Poirier.
They should just made that a co-main event and just made that number 1 contenders fight.
But really, how much is a number 1 contender spot worth, really?
Exactly, and I mean, that's the same thing as the interim belt.
It's not the same thing, because that's just glorifying someone that's not really the champion.
Yeah, but we don't know when the champion's going to return either.
But I kind of see that, but
they expected him to come back this fall.
Yeah, I mean, that was the timeline for Khabib.
I mean, yeah, but
I don't mind the interim title, though. Like, I like the idea of an interim title because you've got somebody you can put the belt on in the meantime, and Max is already a champion.
In certain situations, that makes sense, but the Khabib situation doesn't make sense.
Plus, it seems like he might be still maybe like in a negotiation with the UFC on when his fight should be booked or
Khabib.
yeah, and who he should be fighting, and so on and so forth. So I can see that could definitely bring some complications. So that's what makes the interim title make a little bit more sense to me.
Yeah, you're right, because all it does is clear it up.
Yeah, because then at that point we have an established number one contender, and he can keep the division going if Khabib decides to hold out or what have you.
Which I doubt.
I don't know. He's played hardball with the UFC before, and now that he's champ and has leverage, he'll do it again.
Yeah,
I believe he will.
But that middleweight one makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
Robert Whittaker is way too fragile.
I wouldn't say he's fragile, but the fact that he happened to have a freak accident like that happen to him, he had to have like life-saving surgery.
But
what other
but it
fighters he
happens
pulled out of?
It happens too often.
What are the fighters he pulled out of?
Yeah,
he's pulled off multiple fights, and he's pushed them back. That first Yoel Romero fight, he pushed it back to a further date because he got injured.
Yeah, because that gave us the Romero.
Rockhold.
No, that's the second fight, I think, because that's what gave us Romero versus Rockhold for the interim belt.
Yeah, where he fucked up Rockhold, but he missed weight.
But I mean, other than that,
He hasn't really had a long history
another
of
fight.
Yeah, he hasn't had a long history of like it's just that one time, and the UFC they never forget on shit like that. You know what I'm saying? As much as of a what have you done for me lately company they don't forget shit like that.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure before they figured out the whole situation thing on the title, the next first contender, the first time he blew out his knee, didn't he?
I don't believe he did.
I'm pretty sure he did. I'm pretty sure he blew his knee out.
He might have, because I do kind of remember
When he
him
won
blowing
the
his
title,
knee out.
month.
When he won the
later,
interim title?
Yeah, that month.
That
later,
would have been the first Yoel fight.
Yeah, that month later he blew his knee out, and then I'm pretty sure someone else stepped in.
That's
sure
what
Michael
we're talking
Bisping.
about, though. I'm pretty sure that's what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's exactly what we're talking about. So it was only a
Is
one-time thing.
Yeah, it was the Romero Rockhold fight was made from that.
Didn't the first time when he fought Rockhold, the first time when he got the title shot, he blew his knee out. Then Michael Bisping had to step in for him.
Yeah, that's how Michael Bisping got that short notice title fight.
Yeah, so he did pull out from a title fight. So I'm just saying,
but that was only 2 times and only once while he was champion.
Yeah, but he still has these freak injuries that keep happening to him.
No, because he would have already been the champion with the Rockhold fight, wouldn't he have?
No,
because that was later on. Yeah,
that was later on.
Yeah,
so I'm just saying these freak injuries keep piling up on him.
I mean, it's only been 2 though.
This is the third one.
But going back to that, what have you done for me lately? And the UFC doesn't forget that shit, like you were saying.
True.
But shit, I'm surprised, and that's what kind of makes me think that they'll be a little timid with Khabib. You know what I'm saying? Like they won't be as willing to work with him because he's had to pull out of multiple fights. You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
The fact that they've tried to book him versus Ferguson, 5 times?
Yeah, it's 5 times.
Yeah, and
we need that fight. Goddamn it.
Yes, that it has to happen.
I don't ever see that fight happening.
It will. It'll happen.
It'll happen eventually.
I don't
It'll
ever
just
see
be
it
happening when we don't want it to happen.
Yeah,
you know.
I'll see someone taking the belt from Khabib or Khabib saying I'm retired before that happens.
That lightweight situation is interesting.
It's fucking muddy.
I don't. Do you like it or? Do you
I like it because it keeps the division going. If you get what I mean, it keeps the division going.
Yeah, no, and that's why I actually do like the interim situation on the lightweight side a bit more.
Yeah,
and then plus it seems like it's time for Max to step up anyway because that featherweight cut is starting to get harder and harder. You know, he's starting to settle into his full adult body. You know, and that adult weight is sitting on him.
And you know, from the pullout he had with Ortega.
Yeah, that initial pullout. Yeah, man, because he looked like Skeletor, dude.
I'll say he's gonna fluctuate for at least another 2 years between those two divisions.
You think so?
Yeah,
I don't see it.
If he wins that interim title,
if he wins the interim title,
so.
He's gone. I think he's going.
Yeah, I think he's going too.
I think he's going to relinquish.
I think he's going to fluctuate. He's going to fight. He's going to let them battle it out, and then he's going to go and fight the lightweight title shot. Okay. And then whoever fights that, he's going to go fight 45 at least 2 more times.
I could possibly see.
I could see him going back one more time. Yeah. But
I mean, who does he even have to fight?
It's either Frankie or Joseph.
Fuck no. If anything, he has a younger dude to fight in Volkanovski, Moicano. Those are dudes he should be looking at. Maybe after a rebound fight with Ortega. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not trying to see him whoop Jose Aldo ass again, bro.
I'm not either.
I can't see him fighting Ortega at the 45.
At 45, yeah.
Yeah, because Ortega's probably going to come up eventually.
Yeah, I was like, he's
big.
Ortega's going to take that 45 belt before he comes up.
Well, I think so, too.
Yeah. I think once he leaves that division, Ortega's just going to basically take it over after that.
Do you think that Ortega's chances against Holloway would fare better at 55?
I don't think so.
I think he fares a bit better, but ultimately same result.
With a stronger, faster Max Holloway,
exactly.
I think Holloway finishes him.
That's
why I said he'll fare better.
Yeah.
But
well, I mean, he finished him in the first fight. But I mean, finish, TKO, not stop. Was stopped in the
fourth round.
Yeah, after the fourth round.
Yeah, got stopped in the corner.
Yeah. So with that being said, so we've got 2 title fights and one other one that I found of kind of note.
There's actually some decent fights, like if you kind of dig through the card. Ovin St. Pro is fighting Nikita Krylov. That's a decent fight. A fight with some flyweight. I don't know if they're flyweight or bantamweight at this point though. But Wilson Hayes.
They still have a flyweight division.
No, I know they do, but I don't know if these guys are fighting at fly or bantamweight.
Gotcha.
But Wilson Hayes is fighting Alexandre Pantoja. Boston Salmon, a dude I watched on the local scene come up. He's on there. Curtis Millender's fighting on this card.
Curtis Millender's nice.
Yeah. Andrei Sukumov is fighting on that card.
Nice. Shout out to Andrei Sukumov, like one of my IG picks one time.
Yeah, he did. Poliana Botello, the lady that took way too much damage from
yeah,
from Shevchenko. Yeah.
Going off of the 2 title fights, who's everybody got?
I got Holloway.
Holloway for the lightweight title.
Oh yeah.
I say Holloway finishes him in the 3rd.
Holloway
in 3.
Yeah.
I'm taking Holloway. Holloway.
No. This is the whole thing. Dustin Poirier takes way too much damage in his fights.
Yeah.
Like he always has to dig deep and then come back for a finish.
I think he'll finish him with a submission.
You think so?
I think he'll TKO Dustin Poirier.
I think so too.
No, I'm saying Holloway will finish him.
Yeah, that's what
okay.
I'm
Okay.
Yeah.
I think Holloway will finish with a submission, either guillotine or. I think he'll just get him in too much trouble. And Poirier's gonna shoot.
Yeah, you right.
I see one of those slugfests start to happen, and then Holloway just taking over.
Holloway's going to
with the more precise
Oh
punches.
fuck yeah, that's exactly what Holloway wants.
And it's the worst part because Poirier just he baits himself into those. Mm-hmm. It's not smart.
What about the other interim title?
That
fight?
is scary.
I have Asanya in that fight.
Adesanya?
I have Adesanya.
Really?
Fuck yeah.
Really? Y'all gonna disrespect Gaston like
I'm not disrespecting him.
I don't disrespect him, but I think Adesanya has more on the striking aspect
he
than him.
Does, but
the way he moves is different. He's a different fighter.
You think so?
I think so.
I mean, I'm not trying to say.
I give Gastelum if he has an advantage on taking him down. I mean, if he gets to take him down.
The Derek Brunson fight though. That's the fight that solidified. This is different.
I feel you, but Gastelum's different, bro.
I feel you with that too.
How fast his hands are?
Yeah, for sure.
And Adesanya can do all this, hand shit, and
if he
try to fake him out.
If he keeps him at range. If he keeps him at range,
that's the main
Gastelum
thing.
doesn't stand a chance if he's
at range. Yeah. But I feel like he's really gonna get in that man's face, and
he's really good at closing the distance.
Yeah,
he's great at it.
Cause like the main fight I think about at how fast his hands is when he knocked out Bisping. Cause I didn't even see the punch.
Yeah, he had.
You was stepped in and hit him with that left hand.
Boom, and like he threw like a quick 3-punch combo, and all I caught was the 3rd punch.
You know who that knockout reminded me of?
Who?
When Kane knocked out Nogueira.
Yeah.
When he hit him with that quick little flurry, that little 1, 2, 3,
and he didn't expect that shit at all.
The call Joe Rogan had on that though.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's out.
That was one of the first. I remember us going to watch that event. That was UFC 110, and that was quite a night. One other thing MMA related, I had to bring to the table. MMA On Point had a really good video this week, I think, about the level of fighters. Does the UFC have the best fighters in the world? Because now that we have seen both Eddie Alvarez and Demetrius Johnson move over to one championship, Demetrius had a hard time in his fight. He won, but he had a hard time.
Yeah, he did. And Eddie Alvarez looked out of place.
Starched.
Yeah, that man got sparked.
I say in certain divisions. Certain divisions they have better fighters, but certain divisions they don't.
I'll say collectively they have the best.
Yeah,
collectively
they have the best.
But
Yeah.
do they have the best one in each division?
Yet to be seen.
Well, if you look at
for the most part, I'll say they do.
And the guy that Demetrius fought now still not even ranked in the world's top 15 power rankings. So
also, plus I'll say this as a preface: these are two fighters that are a bit older.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And Eddie Alvarez has been through some shit.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So, to say Eddie Alvarez might be a bit long in the tooth, maybe a bit punch drunk, isn't out of the question to me.
That's totally true, and I think it comes back to, a lot of people are really talking about Eddie Alvarez, but I'm really more interested in the fact that Demetrius got it put to him in the stand-up in the first couple rounds of that fight. Like,
yeah, and that it kind of just makes me want to ask, like, is Demetrius still the same guy? Because you got to remember, he had that shoulder injury.
Yeah.
And that's what held off his fight with
Cejudo.
Yeah. And, maybe he didn't recover the best after that.
That's
he
true.
may not be the same fighter we knew. You know what I'm saying? Because he looked off that whole fight.
Yeah.
But how many people in the UFC has pressured Demetrius with the stand-up?
This is the main thing, though. We've only seen this recently.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because Cejudo, even though I'm not acting like his striking is just top-notch or something like that, but he stayed in Demetrius' face. He pressured him. You know what I'm saying? Demetrius was on his bicycle, that whole fight. You know what I'm saying? He was constantly having to fight off Cejudo. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't really the aggressor in majority of the fight.
Yeah.
So this is only what we've seen in recent history. You know what I'm saying? This could be due to that shoulder injury.
Yeah, but Cejudo was one of the only dudes to pressure Demetrius.
That's what I'm saying. That's the only sample size we have to go off of. That's the only data we have. And this, I don't even know the guy's name. I feel disrespectful. But the new guy, and these are the only two fights we have post torn labrum, Demetrius Johnson. And that's his second time tearing it.
I was about to say, because he has torn it before.
Yeah, so it may not be the same,
I can't remember what fight that was, though.
The John Moraga, I think right after that one.
Yeah, I think
that's when he tore his labrum.
Because it was early in his
title
title
run.
Yeah,
this was when he was Fox King. All his title fights was basically on Fox.
Yes.
But he was running through.
Oh, no, he was dominating the division. You know what I'm saying? On the lowest, and this is the craziest part. They was putting him on the national stage and people for free, and people still wouldn't tune in.
Yeah.
Amazing. Watching
it is amazing, honestly. I get to a point the thought, but at the same time, I don't understand, because even I get he's 125 pounds. He is a small man, but
he'll still beat your ass.
He will still beat your ass. Exactly.
It's because he wasn't finishing people like they wanted to see at that point.
But at the same time, but at the
Right
same
after
time, when did GSP finish anybody? Motherfuckers love GSP.
Because GSP threw a jab and kept the jab there. Demetrius takes you down and outpoints you on the ground.
But GSP does the same thing.
The exact same.
He is a small GSP at the end of the day.
Just because he throws a jab right before he shoots for a double
certain
leg.
fights, that makes the difference.
Fair enough, because GSP has some real knockout highlights, but
and then when you think about it, the tear he went on, because right after that Moraga fight, he just started finishing motherfuckers left and right.
Because that's what he realized he had to do to get the money.
I didn't say the Moraga fight. Before that, what was that? The Dotson fight. After the first Dotson fight, that man went crazy.
Yeah.
He realized that's where the money is, the finishes.
I don't even think that. He really just proved that he was better than everybody.
Right.
I'm saying that's proving
you're
better.
Shoulders above everybody.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's proving you're better, but he realized if you don't finish, you don't get the money that you deserve.
I don't know. I don't wholly believe that.
To me, the UFC pays the finish.
Even when he was finishing people, they still wasn't really trying to put him on pay-per-views. They wasn't really trying to give him champion money
or performance bonuses.
Yeah, and the
performance bonuses are so subjective.
And the fact that this man had his own submission named after him, I have yet to see somebody pull that else off. This man threw a man in the air for a takedown
and caught the arm bar,
the almighty whiz bar, cold. Let me step off this soapbox for a second.